Afternoon. It's Ready Row USA coming your way for Thanksgiving week. And we've jumped on the Black Friday bandwagon. So we just wanted to kind of use that holiday, this event to just go through some fun gifts for rowers. And maybe you can send the list to Santa Claus or your Hanukkah fairy, and get some things that you would like to see in your kit. We do have a couple things to say about the podcast. We're part of the RowingChat network. Rowing.chat is the URL, and we do regular, usually weekly broadcasts featuring the best of rowing news. We do interviews, gadgets, and gear from clubs, companies, and rowers across the country. And we are part of the RowingChat network, which includes Faster Masters, Strength Coach Roundtable, and a few others in development. So stay tuned for those. And all links are in our show notes. We realize some of you are watching and some of you are listening after it on your podcast apps. So if we refer to something visual, you can always find it in the show notes and go and look at that link. Or if we go too fast for you, we'll put all the links in the show notes. And we want to get to as many of your questions and comments as possible as well. So I'm Charlotte Pierce, and I'm the producer. Today we have with us Brenda Balenger. Is it Balenger or Balenger? I'm sorry. You're muted.
It's
sorry.
Try one more time. It's Balenger.
Balenger.
Right.
That's what I was doing first, and then I thought, well, what if it isn't? Anyway, thank you for being here, Brenda. And Brenda's going to be our master's correspondent at the U.S. Rowing Convention coming up next week. I can't believe it's next week, the 5th through the 8th, and we are going to be doing a road trip down there, right, Brenda?
Yeah.
And we also have, he'll be on in a few minutes to talk about the NK Sports big announcement for Black Friday. I think y'all are going to like it. I know I'm going to like it. And we'll get to Charlie Biddle from NK. He's the marketing director. Hi, Charlie.
Oh, sorry. I'm the rowing sales manager.
Oh, sorry, rowing sales manager. I'm thinking of too many things at once.
That's all right.
That's all right. We'll tune in to you in a second. And we wanted to acknowledge our fabulous sponsors. We have written a special on rowing gloves. You'll find that at RowingChat. Rowing.chat. It's a great gift if you are stuffing stockings or other little gifts for people. I mean, it's a really essential for some of us who get blisters. Just love them. Love those crew stop ones is what I use, but there's a few others that are really good. And you can find those at rowing.chat/sponsors. We also have sponsor Brian Kitch, who writes for rowingrelated.com. And he has a detailed knowledge of the sport that's has built his reputation as an excellent source of information, news, and opinion, independent journalism about rowing. You can find that again at rowing.chat/sponsors. And there are discounts for a subscription if you're a listener. You also, the all-important rowing seat. This is one from, what is it called? The seat pad. Citius Remix. It was developed by a Danish lightweight Eskild Ebbesen. This is his picture here. But he not only got a sore butt, but he lost feeling in his legs during his long erg sessions. I guess they're in the frozen north in the winter, and they developed this seat pad that is actually quite innovative, and we have a special on that as well. Anyway, it's our gadgets and gear and gifts episode, just in time for your holiday shopping. We don't want to get too commercial, but there are some someone sent in a question about what about non-cash, something that's not, you don't have to buy? And I think there are some gifts of time that you can give rowers. But right now we're going to get shopping, and we're going to talk to Charlie about what NK has to offer. They also sent us a swag bag. So if you use the hashtag for the episode, you can win this swag bag. It's got a water bottle and a bunch of NK stuff in it. So not a speed coach, but some fun things. And thank you so much, you guys, for providing that. One of my favorite companies in rowing. So Charlie, tell me about this Black Friday thing.
So our Black Friday sale, it's not extremely expansive in terms of products, but it is significant in terms of how much we're coming down on a individual product. So as you can see, the picture of the oar-lock, that is our big Black Friday sale. So normally the cost of the oar-lock would be $649, but we're coming down to $499. And that's like, we really want to target kind of single scullers in terms of this pricing, because we feel like people thought, oh, this is like a really expensive product. But it's kind of really important for us to get people to start like kind of understanding the metrics that are related to rowing and kind of how far our sport has come kind of technology wise.
Now, do you need a coach to interpret that data, or is that something that you can like overcome the learning curve and kind of make sense of it on your own as a solo rower?
It's definitely a little daunting at first, but I think once, like if you kind of read up on the literature on our website, and I'm happy to kind of explain some things here, it's really pretty simple. So primarily the oar-lock measures your catch and finish angles, and that's pretty simple, pretty easy for people to understand. And then it also measures where you pick up the load of the boat and put it down. And it measures that in terms of the delta in degrees. So basically the amount of space between where your oars change direction at the catch and the finish and where you actually pick up the load of the boat. And then it also measures through strain gauges the amount of force you're applying against the pin. And it gives you that readout in watts, joules, and newtons.
Joules and newtons.
It brings you back to kind of physics 101. Cool.
Yes, like that panicked feeling I got when I had to do calculus for graduate school.
Yeah, but so I mean, for joules is pretty simple. It's like kind of, everything under your force curve. So it's the area under your force curve. That's what that's measuring. And then watts are just your joules over a certain amount of time.
Sweet. Well, I've put the price up there. Is that correct? $499.
It is
for Black Friday. And how long does that go on?
That goes on, I think, through Monday.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to send this to Santa Claus and see what he says. I hope I've been good enough this year, so we'll see.
And one caveat is that in order to use the oar-lock, you need to have our Speed Coach GPS Model 2 with the training pack. Now, if you buy the oar-lock, and this isn't kind of, I probably should mention this with regard to the Black Friday sale, but if you were to buy the oar-lock, we would give you the training pack for free if you didn't have it already. Oh, and that's a pretty simple upgrade. You would just have to contact us, and we would send you an upgrade file.
Do you have that training pack, Brenda?
I do not.
Yeah, I got that. It's so great, especially, I mean, I get a live coaching too, but like the workouts and things that you provide and just the company, I was telling you this before we even got on, the company is so responsive. Like if I have any question, I call, and Joe Rakowski, right?
Yep.
He's my buddy there. And he's so patient. He puts up with my, in lack of knowledge about that.
Joe's great. He's a total saint, and you wouldn't actually believe it, but I don't think he's ever touched an oar.
My God, you're kidding.
He has accrued his knowledge of our product and the sport just completely remotely. Like I think the only time he ever comes to a regatta is at the head of the Charles, where he does repairs in the back.
Yeah, well, he's a prince, he's amazing.
So I have a quick question for you about this product.
Yeah.
Do you often find if you use this on a single shell on the port side, do you then switch it over to the other side and find that it reads out differently? And if so, how does that help the sculler?
Well, so definitely people like to see what's happening on both sides. And currently, like in our current iteration, you need one oar lock and it pairs with one speed coach. So if you wanted to have both sides, you would need 2 speed coaches and 2 oar locks, which we kind of realized is a little frustrating. And eventually, somewhere down the line, we will put both, like 2 oar locks to 1 speed coach. But currently that's just not in the cards. So what I will say is that people do switch back and forth, and I think it is a good practice because there is, generally speaking, a differential between port and starboard, and finding kind of shrinking that differential will certainly help, like all sorts of things in terms of boat speed. Like, if you're matched up on both sides, you're putting more energy into going straight than you would be otherwise. Or you're also balancing out your body in terms of the amount of effort and length that you're putting into each side.
And let's go on to some of the other things. We'll just kind of run through these, but NK has a terrific lineup of tools for rowers and bags and cocks. Of course, the cocks, you kind of have pretty much dominate the market on Cox boxes, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. But especially now that we've put out our new Cox box, which came out this past March. So now we have 2 versions of the Cox box, the GPS and the core version. The core version is all the kind of tried and true audio and kind of rugged shell that you expect from our products. And then the GPS is the same format, actually. It looks exactly the same, except it has all the functions of our speed coach GPS built into it.
Yeah.
And actually, if you were to buy the core, a simple kind of similar to the training pack upgrade, a simple firmware upgrade would get you to the GPS for just the price differential.
Perfect. Okay. Well, we have a couple more visuals. What is this?
That's the microphone headset for the Cox box.
Right. Boy, those Cox boxes get a lot of abuse, don't they?
They do. It's really pretty amazing what they get put through. And especially, I feel for our saltwater customers. Like, saltwater is far and away the most destructive environment for electronics.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, the vacuum of space is a safer environment for our products, surprisingly. But yeah, we build the stuff to kind of withstand all of that, anti-corrosive and waterproof.
Yeah, because I'm sure you hear from people if they're things.
We absolutely do, and we're happy to. We want to make sure our customers are happy with our product and that it lasts a long time. Yeah,
we have a very strict rules about how to care for Cox boxes and all that stuff. At Community Rowing, where I'm a member. Yeah, because it does take tender loving care, and of course the Blue Ocean is a standard for our coaches, and
yeah, it's a great product, and it really does stand the test of time in terms of durability. When you look at the
megaphone, right? Or
yeah. I mean, when you look at the amount of money people have spent on batteries and just replacing like kind of less durable megaphones, it certainly outweighs the cost of the Blue Ocean over time.
Yeah, well, we are going to move on to some other things, and you're welcome to stay with us, Charlie, or if you have to go, I understand. But we just love your company, and thank you for sponsoring this spot. And the $4.99 oar lock is going to, hopefully go around the world, and we'll see if Santa Claus is listening to
Well, Charlotte, I will go, but I really appreciate you having me on. It was a pleasure to talk to you guys, and happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And yeah, come get an oarlock.
Okay, we'll see you at the convention too.
All right, see you there.
Take care. Yeah, so we have a bunch of other stuff. We also have a swag bag. Well, like I said, the swag bag of NK Sports. So use our hashtag on social media or make a comment here. We can get your comments if you're listening live. Otherwise, we do give you an opportunity to use it on social media after the show. So it's kind of fun stuff. We also have, we had a lot of suggestions from Masters Rowing International on Facebook, and the people wanted to make sure we mention Concept 2. You can get a jump on your New Year's resolutions with an erg. And this is the gold standard of ergs, the one that you see most around the world, literally. I mean, do you guys use that up in New Hampshire?
We do, of course, yes.
Okay, yep. I forgot I wasn't screen sharing here. Okay, yeah, so there's that. And then
and Charlotte, the holiday challenge with Concept 2 starts on November 28th, runs through to Christmas Day, I think. Mm-hmm. So that's exciting. It's their 20th anniversary.
And there's you can join a club team or a charity or something like that, right?
You cannot join in a club team, this particular challenge. Usually they do, okay. But you can designate which charity you'd like them to put the money towards.
Perfect. Yeah.
For your meters.
It's a great company, and yeah, they just keep turning out great products. So the slides I've used, I finally got used to using slides. Those are cool. So I mean, they're kind of clunky you could still wrap them up for put under the tree if you wanted. But we also,
those might be something good to bring in Sunday morning and put right under the tree.
Yes, because Santa Claus sometimes doesn't wrap stuff, it's like, just like the doll carriages we used to get and stuff. Anyway, we also have suggestions. Croker makes great oars. You can mix and match you can put Croker oar grips on Concept 2 oars or vice versa. And both companies are just fantastic. I know, isn't Croker is an Australian company?
I don't know the answer to that, but I can find out.
I know they have
a
US, but I think I heard something about the fires in Australia were threatening their building down there, and so we're thinking about them. But the oars are great. And sorry,
it does say they're Australian. Yes.
Yeah.
They started in Sydney. Yep.
Sydney. Yep. So we're hoping you pull through the fire season, Croker. And maybe it's time to stop using club oars and get your Concept 2s or your Crokers. They're terrific. Another area, if you want to spend the big bucks, is the rowing machines. Of course, there's Concept 2, and I'm not sure. Do you know how much they cost? Concept 2s?
I think they're around 900.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
something like that.
Yeah. Yep. Depends on what model you get. But Hydrow they were going to come on today and we're not able to, but they are offering $1,000 off their Black Friday. The special is available through Best Buy, where they are distributed, as well as their own. I think you can order them directly, but I have a Hydrow. I got it on the Indiegogo campaign. Have you ever used one?
I have not.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
I absolutely love it. It's like,
nice.
Once you sit down, the athletes sort of like, you just can't get up again because they pull you in. And
wow.
I know, it's really great. I mean, you will be, since I got on Indiegogo, I got a subscription through September next year. So after that, I'll have to pay $35 a month for the subscription. But this is a great deal on a $2,000 plus machine, is to get $1,000 off. And I would get on that right away because I think they are not in, they might not be in short supply, but I think you might have to wait if you are not on top of that.
Well, and the beauty of it is that those of us who have them in our living rooms anyway can have a little bit more attractive design.
It's a very
perhaps.
attractive design, yes. And another one that our assistant producer Shannon found was a simulate oar. And we also have in the show notes, we'll have the whole gift guide on rowing machines from Rowing Machine King. So check that out, and you'll be able to compare and contrast the different machines. But it looks like Simulate Oar is like a bio rower with independently moving oars, which is much more authentic, I think, than a fixed handle.
Sure.
But yeah, so I've tried. I think they rotated one through community rowing one time, and I tried it. I liked it, but can't afford it right now. Video for rowing feedback. You got your GoPros. You got Oar Inspired has a great suction cup mount for your boat, and it gets the camera up high enough so that you can use some different angles and position the camera, so it's not just staring down the deck of the boat. So Oar Inspired has some GoPros for coaches. Might be a great gift. You could go in with your crewmates and get one for the coach. There's also gift cards for Vespoli and Hudson, and any boat maker for spare parts. If you're still stumped, we have a solution for you. And these things fit nicely in a stocking or wherever. These are from Coach Cox and Crew. So many of us have gotten these at different regattas. They're really fun little keychains. They also, I think, have different kinds of jewelry. They have ornaments. And if you use the hashtag, we'll send you one, courtesy of Coach Cox and Crew. And thank you very much, you guys, for sending those on. Maybe I'll even enter the giveaway. No, I'm kidding. Another great company. I love Strokeside Designs. I almost decided to become a coxswain because of this lovely little necklace. But I do have the bracelet in the middle, it's oars. And then you can have your own oar pattern put on their jewelry as well. Got anything? I've got some oar earrings on right now.
I was admiring those. That's great.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I was like in Seattle or something, and someone said, do you row with community rowing?
Yeah,
how did you
identify
know?
you everywhere.
If you're in the right circles, you get identified. It's fun. It's just fun. And these are beautiful little pieces. Do you cox, Brenda?
Only when absolutely necessary.
Oh,
I'm a little large for the coxswain seat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I want to be one because of the necklace.
It reminds me of a Monopoly piece.
I know, doesn't it?
Maybe we should have a Monopoly rowing theme.
If someone hasn't thought of that, let's do it.
The
other thing you can give is a rowing experience. And again, all these links will be in the show notes. So if you're not watching right now to get all these names, All American Rowing Camp is one that I've been to. Have you been to Dolphin or Craftsbury or Florida Rowing?
I've been to Craftsbury 2 or 3 times.
Awesome.
3 times, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fairly close by, so it's not difficult to get to.
Right. I know that so many people who started out in sculling by going there, and
and everybody gets to compare their first experience at Craftsbury as they have you dump and get back in the boat. So I don't know if other camps do that as well, but
I practiced that on my own in the Charles River. But Craftsbury is great, and my goal is to go there sometime. I've been up to Craftsbury during snowy season to do cross-country skiing. But
Oh, nice.
yeah, and Mark Wilson is one of our senior correspondent for the podcast. He runs the All-American Rowing Camp in DeLand, Florida, with Jim Dietz, and they are fantastic. All these camps are great. Dolphin, I think, is primarily a sweeps camp, but some of our friends go there. I know my friend Nancy Mack goes there, and will be again. So it's a great place to get some skills during the winter. And if you're in the frozen north, come January, February, you're ready to get a little relief.
Itching to get on the water, right?
I know. So another gift idea is books. We are going to be having Dan Boyne on in this winter to talk about and do some reading from The Seven Seat, his acclaimed new novel about rowing. There's also Small Puddles is one of Shannon's favorites, and everybody loves Sugar Water and gets inspired by it. It's by R. Cooper. It's a story of his inner city high school in Chicago, where someone came and started a rowing club, and it's just the most inspiring book I've read lately, especially about rowing. He will be at the Joy of Sculling conference. I think he's going to be the keynote speaker there. So
that's right.
Books are good,
that's
and
right.
we'll have a lot more books in the show notes. And are you going to Joy of Sculling?
I'm not this year. I usually do one or the other, U.S. Rowing or Joy of Sculling. So this year it's U.S. Rowing.
Yep. And again, the convention is December 5th through the 8th. I think there are a lot of you've been to it before. I've not been. But,
yes. Oh, great.
What's the experience like? Just meeting people you already know, meeting new people, getting information, or what do you find?
All of the above. I think the most difficult thing is deciding which sessions to go to, because there's so many. It's hard to miss one for another, but it's a great experience, and
I'm sure.
Very busy number of days. You go home just full of inspiration.
I know, it's going to be great. And we will be broadcasting live about 7 p.m. each night. If you're there in the exhibit hall, come by and see us and say hello on the podcast. We'll be also rolling in interviews and just news bits from the sessions and previewing the following day's sessions. So thank you for coming and doing that, Brenda. It's just
sure.
It's
I look
great.
forward to it.
And Ryan Wolf will be doing coaching and some other types of topics. And our correspondent Tara Morgan is also going to be doing some interviews and coverage of the diversity, equity, and inclusion track. So that will be exciting. And again, show notes. We also want to point you to the club news form in the show notes. You'll find the link, and if fill it out and send in your rowing news on events, regattas, and accomplishments. No club is too small or too remote, and no newbie is too new. So just let us know what you're doing out there. We want to connect rowers and clubs. We also have a gadgets and gear forum, and that's where we mined a lot of the suggestions for this episode on gifts. Include a photo or a link if you can. You can also find our sponsors at rowing.chat/sponsors, and the episode hashtag rowing RRUSA gifts. RRUSA gifts. Use that on social media and you'll win one of these great gifts from Coach Cox and Crew, or NK. And also Mark Wilson of All American Rowing Camp is kicking in one of his fabulous mugs with their logo on it. So, we just want to give away a lot of stuff. My company is Pierce Press. I'm the producer of this podcast, and Mark's Rowing Camp, All American Rowing Camp, is down there in DeLand. Ryan Wolf is our other senior correspondent, and he is the coach at UT Chattanooga Rowing, Tennessee. And he also coaches at Lookout Rowing Club. He's a great guy, fabulous host, and he'll be back probably next week with us. We have a full winter of episodes about different clubs and the convention coverage and wrap up, winter camps, gadgets, gear, and gifts, and books, the book episode, the book with Dan Boyne that we're going to be coming up. And anything else, Brenda, that you were mentioning that Randall airfoils, you saw them at the Masters Nationals, or?
I did. Met with the guy next to us at one of the tents, took out his oars, and we all went, what is on the top of his oars? So we went over, and he was a Masters rower, obviously. The fellow who invented them was there with him as well. So we had a long conversation about it. And the rower who was using them had about 2 years under his belt of Masters competition. Before that, he was a sweep rower, and he obviously benefited from not digging deep and keeping the oars at the right height as they go through the water on the drive. But
I would love to try them. I'm not convinced.
Yeah, me too.
It's like you get all these people saying, now you should be a purist, and I don't know. I'll try.
Worth a try.
Yeah.
But lots of fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said it actually made him faster. He believed that he went faster with them. So
that is amazing.
Yeah. If you're looking for a little bit of an edge.
Yeah. We will close out here, and we'd love to have people send in more suggestions for us to include in the show notes. But I think you've got a pretty good lead in to gifts for the holidays, and maybe get a few things for yourself. Again, the NK Black Friday deal is $4.99 for the Empower Oarlock. So get on that. Thank you so much for coming, Brenda. And we will talk to you next week when we head on to the U.S. Rowing Convention.
I look forward to it. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.